It is Supernanny Saturday, and you guys voted for the Webb family. So grab your beverage. I have something nice and warm today. If it's cold by you, hopefully you're cozied up and ready for a little Supernanny.
Television. Not much really going on in this household. Where's the fun? Kids are bored.
I thought there was going to be activities going on and the house was going to be full of energy with the kids running around, screaming, but it wasn't. It was really quiet.
When you're not on the computer and when you're not playing video games, what does Joseph do? What do you do?
Get on my computer.
It is a slow start to this episode. Usually we will see kids kicking, screaming, throwing things, hurting each other, running around, the parents chasing them, and then we're like, oh, okay, this is why Joe Frost is here. But with this episode, we're all like, it's been 4 hours. They tell us how long it's been, and nothing has really happened. The kids are kind of quiet.
I hadn't seen much of Arthur since he'd got home, so I checked in with Kathy as she was bathing the kids.
Where's Dad, Mum?
He's asleep. And power hour nap turned into a 2-hour power nap, possibly 3. Probably 4. We might not see him again tonight.
So, Mum, what's happening at the moment now?
I'm trying to get everybody in their respective beds, and that's not happening.
Not looking good for Dad. So far, we know that Dad works most of the time. And then the time that he is home, he's not really present. He comes home to take a power nap, and that nap never ends. While he's sleeping in the room, Mom is left to take care of all 3 children, one of which has Down syndrome. That's an added layer of challenges to do everything.
Teeth, bath, bed. They get out of bed. She puts them back in bed.
And at one point, Joe Frost looks at the camera and she's like, I was ready to knock on the door and wake up Dad. Hey guys, editing Kristen here. And I just noticed that the numbers behind me are not updated. We actually have 714 subscribers at the time of filming this episode. So we are on our way to 1,000. I think we might hit it by my birthday, which is April 19th. So thank you to everyone who subscribed. And if you've made it this far, why don't you hit that subscribe button?
And what part of you, Arthur, is not listening to the fact that Kathy needs your help? The part of Arthur that's selfish. You say you miss your family and you want to be with them. But I don't see that happening.
In my opinion, Joe's in Fantasyland. She had the gall to call me selfish and she doesn't know me that well.
So are you guys both up for some serious hard work to change this?
Yes. Definitely.
Well, that was an interesting meeting because 2 things were really happening. The meeting itself and then what was going on in Dad's head.
The schedule that Joe put together, I really appreciate the time and effort she put into it. What I want Joe to do is to teach Kathy to get better control of the household when I'm not here.
This is a very optimistic weekday routine. Weekend, as you can see, there's 7 o'clock, everybody waking up. Everybody.
That's not gonna happen. I'm up at 5 o'clock every day during the week.
I am so happy that Dad is being more honest because he's sharing what will work for him and what won't work for him. And that will lead to a solution that will actually stick. But for right now, can we please talk about schedules? Because in every single home, Joe Frost will whip a schedule out and throw it on the wall. Why does she do this? Chaos. Do you like chaos? No. If you like chaos, don't have a schedule because you will be following your child all around all day, and a child does not have the capacity to know when they need to rest, when they need physical stimulation, when they need mental stimulation, what kind of foods they need. They don't know. If it's up to them, they'll have snack all day long whenever they feel like it. They'll be like, I don't need to nap. I'm having so much fun playing with trains. It's a recipe for chaos. So one of the most effective things you can do, even if it's just you and your, I knocked the microphone, even if it's just you and your one child, is have a loose schedule because it's going to be good for you and it's going to be good for your kid. I kind of feel like I'm doing an infomercial. And for a limited time, you can have less tantrums. If you implement a schedule, you will get less pushback. think of a classroom. The kids just kind of get up and they're like, oh, it's time for specials. Oh, it's time for centers. Let's all sit down. We're sitting down. Even if they don't like that center, they don't push back because they're like, it's center time. And finally, it's good for you. You deserve a break. If you want your child attached to you all day, asking you for a snack 8 million times a day, then you do you. But for the people who don't want it, you get a little visual timer and you start with 5 minutes and you're like, you're gonna play with these magnet tiles for 5 minutes. And when the timer beeps, then you can come running to me, yay, you did it. And then you increase it and you increase it until eventually, guess what? You get time by yourself for a limited time. Order now. Let's keep going.
Joseph.
I
Are you outside?
No.
No, we don't yell inside the house. This is the first warning. No more yelling inside the house. Now go sit in your seat and wait for mommy to finish fixing dinner.
Oh, I think phrasing matters. I would have looked at him and been like, hey, you look like you have a lot of energy. If you want to be loud, go outside. And if not, if we're inside, we're going to use an indoor voice. Or I would have redirected to some kind of activity. Oh, since we're preparing everything for lunch and you want to use your voice, let's sing a song about having lunch. You don't always have to go straight to consequences. I'm not saying that they don't happen, but gosh, it just feels like it's like always straight to the dang consequence. Kids have needs, they have impulses. Redirect them into something that will allow them to get out that energy.
Joseph, you were told by mummy to stop yelling. You did not listen and you have been sent to the naughty chair. I told Kathy to bring the naughty chair into the kitchen so she could carry on with dinner. It was time to give the girls a bath, but Joseph, he was carrying on. So I told Mum to bring the naughty chair straight up to the bathroom.
This was so frustrating to watch because I don't think much was learned at all. Yes, he kind of learned the lesson of what mom says, mom does, and that's why Joe Frost had her follow through on the naughty chair technique despite it taking almost an hour. But overall, he thought this was funny. It was a game. Mom's moving the chair from this room to the next. This is entertaining. And I think as a child gets older, we have to be really careful about this power struggle with our kids. It's the way that we phrase things can make our children fight against us or work with us. So let's go down this path together. So you're in the kitchen with your child's getting a little bit loud. So you do the thing that I said earlier where you're like, bud, you're really loud and it's hard for all of us to work. You can either go outside or maybe they can't go outside. So you got to give an alternative because maybe it's raining or it's dark, whatever. Or you could go in your room and use your karaoke microphone and sing a song and then come back when you've gotten that energy out because that's not what we're going to do here. Or maybe we can sing a song while we're cleaning or something, but the loud noises out of nowhere like that's hurting everyone's ears. And we're all, this is the phrasing, listen to it. We're all trying to finish cleaning this kitchen so that we could watch TV together. And so we're working together as a team to get this done. Now, let's say your child looks at you straight in the face and goes, no. Then you go, I see you made your decision. You are going to take a break now out of this kitchen while the rest of us finish cleaning up our parts. And then when you're done taking your time to calm down, then you will come back to the kitchen and you will still have to clean up your part. And unfortunately, we're already going to start the movie. It's still the same consequence technically, right? It's still time out, but the phrasing is not me against you.
So it's kisses and cuddles, tucking the children into bed.
Come over this way.
The kids, they weren't having none of it. As soon as Mum put them into their bedrooms, they came back out.
After trying to put the kids to bed for 2 hours, at that point I said, Joe, this is not working. I'm sorry. You may have done it with other children before, but the Webb children, it's not going to work with them.
I want you to go straight into Joseph's room and I want you to pick up that video game and the remote controls and take them out his room.
I don't think I've ever seen this before on an episode. You guys let me know if you've seen this where Joe Frost strays away from just the stay in bed technique to implementing other consequences. So I feel like that's a good jumping off point to discuss what to do when the stay in bed technique doesn't work. And why wouldn't the stay in bed technique, why would it not work? It works when your child is getting out of bed because they want the attention, and the attention is more exciting than going to bed. That's why you say less and less and less until eventually you don't say anything. And this works really well for young children because really what they want is they just want the party to continue. And talking to them, even if you're just talking to them and you're like, baby, please, we got to go to bed, that's attention. Okay? But it didn't work for the older child. So what she did was she said, well, that's it. We've taken out your video games. And all of a sudden, that meant something. I would have, again, phrased it not like this. I would have phrased it like this, where I would say, hey, sleep is important. I told you need to go to sleep. If you don't go to sleep, then tomorrow during your video game time, remember you have that schedule, you're going to rest your eyes in bed because sleep is important for your body to be healthy. It's not you against them. It's about these needs that need to be met. And if you don't do these things, then you can't do the things that you want to do. Same idea. You're still taking away the video games, but it's not like this. You're working with them. We're a team. I'm just trying to help you. It's so powerful. I hope that you guys hear the power of phrasing. It's so powerful.
Apologize to her right now. Sit in this seat. You're in here because you hit your sister and you're yelling.
See, that would be an immediate timeout for me too. See, there would be no discussion. Just to give you an idea of times when I would not have a discussion, if one of my children hit another child, that's an absolutely not, and you're being removed from the situation right away.
You want to do that first, or you want to do hide go seek first?
Oh, that's fantastic. The kids are getting some quality time with Dad.
Say, where are you? You don't see him?
It wasn't a slam dunk, but practice makes progress. And I'm sure that Joe Frost is happy that, Dad is more involved, and Mom seems to be happy that Dad is more involved. But Dad was not supportive of the techniques, not because he didn't like the techniques, but because they really weren't, all of them, working very well, especially the stay in bed technique. So it ended up where they moved and changed rooms so that all the kids are in separate rooms. So sometimes you have to modify, you have to adjust. There is no, as he said, magical wand to make everything better. It's little steps for a better tomorrow. Let's see where the family is now. This was filmed in 2005, and according to an article on a website called Diary of a First-Time Mom, published in 2012, Paige does well in school and loves swimming, reading, and playing tennis. Paige is the one with Down syndrome. Kathy, the mom, is part of an organization called Shining on Down, African American children with Down syndrome. I love that. Not only does it bring awareness, which is a huge part of the organization, but I'm sure that if Kathy could speak on it, she would talk about how it has built a community for others who have the same challenges. If you are dealing with a certain challenge, maybe your child has ADHD or has some other neurodivergence, or you just have a 2-year-old, get together with some other 2-year-old parents and you'll see you're not alone. They are all losing their mind. That seems to be it for the update on this family. There's nothing else. Thanks for joining me. There will be another poll, so if you want to get in on the voting, we had 81 votes by the time I started videoing this. Make sure you check out the community tab and vote for which family you want us to watch together next. See you next week, guys. Bye.